Talk to me. Real conversation, shoot with me. Talk to me. Laughs and insights, wait and see. Talk to me, yeah. Talk to me,
It's time for some real talk with Michelle.
Welcome back to Talk to Me, Michelle. Yeah, I did switch up the name. Let you know that right now, so you're at the right time, right channel. All that is accurate. I had to make a little switch on the logo and everything. Same concept, same show, just a little twist on the name. So I welcome you guys in. If this is your first time listening, please do me a favor and hit that subscription button or even the share button, maybe even both, because I want to make sure these conversations get out. We have fun. I love to get the feedback on the show, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed episode 2 with Wonder Woman and Limpin' Fred Sanford. That was quite a whirlwind. Matter of fact, I got a call behind the episode. It was a very quick call too. It was the client I'm representing, comedian Mookie G, and he is calling me listening to the episode. He's on the road traveling to a gig, and he said, "I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna hang up. Handicap sticker, damn you cold," and hung up, laughing. So I'm glad that he got a chance to. Basically, because see, I don't display that side to everybody. It's still there, but it just takes a certain type of encouragement to bring that out, and it comes out in its rarest, rawest form. So I'm so glad that he enjoyed that line, and a couple other people that gave me feedback on the Fred Sanford music, everything else. So thank you guys again for the feedback. But here we go with a new episode, and I want to make sure you guys are ready. Buckle your seatbelts, boys and girls, because we're driving into the world of Uber. Yes, we are going to drive into Uber, and I'm going to share with you my experience as a Uber driver. I'm going to use some insights on passenger etiquette, exploring why Uber is a flexible source of extra income, and we're also going to discuss the wear and tear on the car. Ooh, oh yeah, I'm going to get into it. And common complaints that Uber drivers have about passengers. I don't think that Uber drivers are heard enough when you voice your opinion to the company, so we're going to definitely delve into that here. And I want you to stick around for the end for the teaser of the next episode. So here we go. Now I'm explaining to you why Uber is flexible and is a good source of extra income. Now, I have my own business, but of course, clientele is not always going to be consistent. So applying for jobs for me was a pain in the butt because I'm in a certain age bracket where they're not going to look at you first. So that's already a challenge. And then I've pretty much been self-employed a majority of the time I've been in Texas. And I've had a corporate job here or there, but I am self-employed, and I like my self-employment. I mean, it's got a lot of its challenges, but I like my self-employment. I like my freedom. I'm able to make my schedule. I come and go as I please. If I want to hang out and cut my workday short, I can, but that's just the flexibility of it. When clientele is not as consistent on my end, I turn to Uber, and Uber is a good source of extra income, or just, I can't do Uber full time. I just can't. I do it part time. Okay. But it's got flexibility in your working hours. Cause when you have to report to somebody, you have to report to them on their time. You may have to report at work and work a long shift. And that may not be by choice. And I understand that people also do overtime. So when you look at that, when somebody else is controlling that, way that you make income and your schedule, your comes and your goes, and when you could take time off, it's a lot of irritation with that. Plus corporate politics. I do not like corporate politics. I've been in the corporate world. It is just not my niche in certain areas. I can't report to a corporate position, I just can't. I've done it. And I'll get into that in many episodes later. But the flexibility and the ability to choose how long and when you want to work. Now, my average day, I like the morning shift. I do not drive at night. First of all, my eyesight ain't the best at night. And I cannot worry about people who have been drinking, stuff of that nature. It's a lot more danger to me as a woman to do that at night. But a lot of people do it. So you could choose if you want to work morning, afternoon, or all damn day. Turn it on, turn it off. Me particularly, I'm a morning shift person. I like to get out when people are trying to go to work or get to their meetings or get to the airport because it's consistency. It's back to back. And with the consistency, I can get home a little before noon, if not a little afterwards. So I like that schedule. And I can balance it with the other responsibilities I have. You know, this podcast for number one. Y'all think I will be able to do a 9 to 5? I know there are some people that do it, but I know it's hard to maintain a podcast when you are working a 9 to 5. I'm just telling you. Because after you deal with some people you really don't want to deal with, you don't have no energy to put it into this show. Like, oh my God, I just don't feel like talking. I want to keep y'all in a good space, but that energy from the data rubbed off on me. You know what I mean? So I can balance it. Like I said, I have a set schedule, a desired time I like to get back. And I can get home enough of time to cook, clean, record the podcast, take care of my clientele, and still get to bed at a decent hour. That's why I love it. I can manage my other commitments. If I need to take a doctor's appointment, I don't have to worry about getting an okay from the higher ups. I can just go to the appointment. Now, with this being a financial benefit, you get to have extra income. Maybe a bill came up that was a little too out of the monthly budget, and all you got to do is turn that app on. Once you turn that app on and you work a couple of rides, you get paid right then and there. Or if you're looking for extra money to put into your savings, because I know with a regular paycheck, sometimes if you're not working 2-3 jobs, it's hard to put away just $5 per pay period, 10, 20, 50. So it's an easier way to reach those financial goals. And if you want to do some stuff leisurely, because most of us go to a 9 to 5 and the majority of our check, if not all of it, goes to the priorities of the month. Mortgage, rent, telephone, electricity, internet, cable, car insurance, car note. I can go on and on. And oh Lord, don't throw groceries in the mix. So you have a hard time saving up for a vacation sometimes, or going to a concert you've been wanting to go to, just any leisure activity. Now you can. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, because this source of income does give me a little leisure money. So if I want to go out to eat, if I want to treat myself to a manicure or a pedicure, and if I want to go see, matter of fact, last time Godfrey was in town, I was able to buy my tickets in advance. Thank you, Uber. Thank you. So you get all those benefits. But, of course, with benefits comes, there's the pros and the cons here. The pros and the cons, and here comes the cons. The wear and tear on your personal vehicle. Let me tell you the impact the vehicle has. My mileage has skyrocketed. Because the car, before I started using it for Uber, my sister and I used to share it. Now it's solely my car. And even between the two of us using it, we didn't put that much mileage on the vehicle. But I tell you, the mileage has quadrupled depending on what kind of work week I've had. Now, regular maintenance is a given. Yeah, you're going to get your oils changed. You're going to get your brake pads replaced and stuff of that nature. But then there's major effects. Like, as we speak, I got to get my front struts replaced. That's a grip. It's a grip. And brakes, you definitely got to make sure are in good condition. Your tires have got to be, because you're going to wear them tires out. If you go to the tire shop and they tell you that you can get at least 100,000 miles out of these tires, You, just the average driver, that's going to last you quite a while. Not when you drive Uber. I have never made so much investments in tires in my life. And see, I done got smart because I don't even go to the main retailers no more. They got so many Spanish shops around Houston. It is a lifesaver. And they be at the convenient spots 9 times out of 10 where somebody may have tire trouble. I'm not going to even lie to you. I replaced my front tires at the homie's shop. Okay? And I'm telling you, it's just, if you got to stretch your budget, if you're in Houston, you know they on every corner. There's always a tire shop somewhere. And the general upkeep, you know, like we said about the regular maintenance, but I keep my car clean. Even before I drove Uber, I cannot stand a nasty car. I had a very bad experience years ago. I was working, my coworker and I had to make a office run, and we took her car. I get in the passenger seat. Now, my eyes are in dismay because this inside of the car looked like a hoarder's nest. Y'all know that TV show, Hoarders, and crap is everywhere? That's how her car was. So when I finally move all the shit out the seat to sit down, I sit down and I feel something wet on the seat. And I get up, and this is back in the 80s when, you know, they had them mix match colored outfits. I had like some shorts on. One side was white, one side was black, and the white side was damn to hell. Early in the workday. I'm sorry. I'm like, bitch, you got me in this car. I already got to climb through this damn crap you got everywhere. And then you got wet shit. And I don't even know. I'm thinking it was coffee because it was like but then again, like I said, I don't know. So needless to say, when I got back, change of outfit, clean up. But anyhow, this is why that kind of embedded that in my head about having my car clean at all times. Even if it's just me, I like a clean car. But people will get in your car, they'll leave trash on the floor. They got scuff marks by the entrance of the car, like the doorway. You're like, wait a minute. You wonder, do you do your own vehicle like this? Oh, I forgot. You need a ride, so you don't know. So it's a lot of money you have to do with the upkeep. I mean, I personally have to have a car wash membership, and you need that in Texas anyway, because one day it's raining, the next day it's dusty. It's just too much. So that's an expense, you know, outside of the general maintenance that I have to make sure it's taken care of. I'm going to let you know, maintaining a car while you drive for Uber is a lot. That's why I'm only part-time on that. I know there's people that make a living off of Uber and Lyft, and I say, God bless you. But it is too much on a vehicle. Now, they give you the option for a rental, but the rental is like paying a car note in a week. I'm like, no, I'm good. Now, I'm going to share with you a movie I watched years ago, and I will still watch to this day. It's called DC Cab. It had Mr. T in it. A couple, Irene Cara was in it. A couple other actors. That movie was hilarious to me. And I don't know why when I started back doing Uber, that movie was on my mind. That theme music was playing in my mind. Because even though I'm not driving a company car, I'm driving my car, but the experiences in the movie with some of those passengers, I can relate. I can relate. So the major thing about passengers, they have to understand, this is not your personal vehicle. This is not a company vehicle. It is a person's personal vehicle. They are using for income. Don't, number one, think that, because they give you rides, that's all they do. Or they beneath you. Because I have dealt with customers with that snobbish when they get in your car. Yes, take me to the airport, please. I'm like, yo, we can pull over. Nope. But there are a lot of complaints that Uber drivers have about their passengers. Number one thing, again, messy or disrespectful behavior. First of all, I already said I like my car clean. When you get in my car, I get a lot of compliments from people. Oh, this car is so clean. It smells good. Yes. Got my Febreze clips in the air vent. Thank you very much. But you will have people that get in your car and just disregard trash. They'll leave their water bottles in there, or just leave a mess on your seats, especially if they got kids and their kids are not, checked or not all over the place. I always make sure I peep in my back seat when I drop somebody off, because I'm like, if you messed up my car, I'm going to take my picture, send it in, and yes, they will give me a fee for the mess you made. Thank you very much. The disrespectful behavior, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do it. Eating in the car or drinking in the car is another thing I don't really appreciate, because, see, I don't know how you eat and drink. And this is not a restaurant, it's not a Starbucks. You should have took care of that before you got in, or you need to be on the way to eat somewhere else out my car. But I know I have had people that got in my car with their food and they start trying to grub down that back seat. And I'm like, read the sign. I got signs that hang on the back of my seats. Go to Amazon. Yes, they on there. And it basically lays out my rules. No smoking, no vaping, no eating or drinking. No illegal substance in my car. No, weapons in my none of that in my car. So you got the rules laid out for you right then and there. Plus, I have like a little trash bag that hangs on the back of my seat. Now, sometimes people will mistake it for tips, so I have to check my bag every once in a while. But it's there for trash. Don't be throwing it on the floor or trying to stuff it under the seat trying to be slick. It's just, the disrespect that people have. You may damage the interior. I have, thank God, not had that. I just had to wipe some shit up. Thank God for leather seats. That's all I'm going to say. Now, another pet peeve of Uber drivers and my own, and I detest this, late or no-show passengers. Because when you're an Uber driver, your money is time. So you have a window, like I think 3 to 4 minutes to get to your ride once they arrive at your pickup destination. And you can see on the app the little icon of who you're supposed to pick up unless somebody else called for the ride. And I'll be pulling up to the destination and I'm sitting there and I'm just looking at the door. Like, when are they coming out the damn door? Because I need to get on the next one. Because it's about how many rides can you do in one day for you to get a decent amount of money. And the more time I have to sit up here and wait for you, it irritates me. Be ready. Respect my time. I showed up on time. Respect my time. And then you miss out on other ride opportunities waiting for somebody. Because, see, by the time I drop you off, I can already have one in the queue waiting for me. So why are you wasting my time? And then if you do have one in the queue waiting, you might get canceled because you waiting on the first passenger taking a sweet time to come out. And I don't understand, why do you order a ride share and you're not ready? They give you an estimated time of arrival. You should be ready before that time. Looking out your window, at least standing on your porch or whatever. Make it easy for us so we can get you done and I can get myself done. So I cannot stand the no-shows, because then, because if I cancel it on my end as a driver, what's going to happen? It's going to be like a little strike against me. I'll get into the Uber politics a little bit later, but it'll be a strike against me on my driving record, not my official one, but with Uber. So I have to wait like a full 4 to 5 minutes for somebody to show up, and I see their little icon sitting right there by the damn door, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm not going to even lie to y'all. I had one passenger. Now, the weather was already stank. I wanted to hurry up and wrap up and get home. And I waited the full wait time, 4 minutes. This heifer, now, usually if people are running late, they'll have the common courtesy to text me, hey, I'll be there. Don't go nowhere. And I give you that wait time window. That's all you're going to get. Not a minute after that. So this woman did not text me, nothing, let me know. So her wait time was about up. Then she finally opens the door and heads out. And then the heifer does a U-turn and heads back in. Oh, once I saw it was eligible for cancellation, boop, bye. I know she was cussing. I don't care, because I waited the full wait time for you. You took your sweet time moving, and I could be, doing another ride. Stop wasting people's time. And then don't let nobody get in the back seat. They're unclear, or they got a last minute change in their destination. I cannot stand them folks. I'm like, you have ample time to validate where you're going to get picked up and where you want to be dropped off. Now, sometimes the GPS, there's particular areas that can get a little confusion, but that's like a short sense of direction. I hate it when they get in my car, and Uber allows you to add extra stops on your route. You mind pulling over at this gas station real quick? Okay, I stopped by this restaurant. No, because you know why? I got to still sit in the car and wait for you. I'm not getting paid wait time because you want to make a stop. I did that mistake many a times, trying to be nice. I just tell folks nowadays it's against policy. You must add it to your trip because time is money. And they be getting in their feelings. You just can't. No, because I need to get to another ride because you about to get dropped off. This is what you need to understand. And then don't let them be given directions from the back seat. Why are you taking this way? And then, but first of all, you do have a route selection you can make before you get a ride. You can, because Texas got lots of toll roads. You could take a toll-free road, which will take a little bit longer, but you ain't got to worry about tolls being charged. Make up your mind what you want. I had one dude in the back seat, and the route was telling me, hey, we got to go this toll road. Who's going to pay for that? Oh, I immediately got on that feeder. I was like, this fool. I know I'm not, because I'm going to get reimbursed for it. Lord have mercy. Now, I don't like the backseat drivers. I don't like that, confusion, or can I add a stop? The add a stop is the one that irritates me the most. Like, no, you have time to plan this out beforehand. Please, let's get to it. Disruptive or inappropriate conduct. That can include being rude, loud, or intoxicated. And I'm going to add cannabis in the mix. Because some people, like, even though I smoke it myself, but I do it at home. I don't go nowhere when I'm in that set. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. But you'll pick up a passenger and they got mad cannabis weed smell on them. It's so strong, I'm getting high. I mean, I don't mind the smell, but see, somebody else has to get in the car behind you and they going to be looking at me crazy, thinking I'm, smoking blunts on the job. So I do keep air freshener in my car. Y'all shouldn't be so loud with that scent in your clothes. Either change your clothes. See, this is what you need to do if you have any common sense, if you're a cannabis smoker. Do not smoke in the clothes you're about to go out in. Make sure you wash your hands and your face before you put your clothes on. Get that scent off you. If you got any spray for your hair, you're going to spray that off too. Now, I've only had like a few intoxicated passengers. They wasn't too bad. I just try to make sure I get them there ASAP because I don't want no incidents in my back seat. I don't need that. Now, I don't appreciate anybody that's loud because even though the navigation is visual, they have a navigation that's also audio that would guide you through the ride. And, you and your loudness, I can barely hear the navigation because I need to keep my eye on the road. So that's like a distraction. And rudeness, I am not dealing with. Let me tell you something. I had a passenger that was headed to the airport. As I said earlier, you have the option to select a route that avoids tolls or take tolls to get there better. Passenger I picked up, taking him to the airport. He realizes we're taking the toll road route. And I'm like, well, that's the selection you made. But I can gladly open my Google Maps and I'll get a route that avoids all the tolls. So at the time, I'm trying to cut the Uber navigation off so I can just hear the Google one. And I'm listening to the Google navigation and it's telling me to turn one way. The Uber navigation is telling me to turn another way. Soon as I make the turn that Google recommends, what are you doing? Yelling. I'm like, sir, I'm taking the route you requested to avoid tolls. I got 2 GPS systems going. I'm trying to turn one of them off. So, what are you doing? I'm like, sir, you're not listening. You are so stupid. Up. my brakes squealed loud on that statement. And I found the nearest parking lot. And I pulled over. I said, you know what? I'm about to let you out right here and right now. Well, I don't have a right. But that, you know what? That's your problem now. Because you're not going to, I'm already being nice. I'm going out my way to find an alternative route to avoid tolls to get you there. But you having a hissy fit because you're listening to two systems navigate, and I make the turn on the one you want to go. Bye. Get out. Oh, he was trying to be petty. He got out the car. He got his luggage out my trunk, but he left my trunk open. Now, see what? We have to take precautions. So, a little pepper spray just in case as I close my trunk and sped off. See, that's what you don't want to do, because that could be anybody that got an attitude with a driver. Don't talk crazy to them. Don't do that. That's just not a good outcome whatsoever. It pisses the driver off, and the passenger is going to be stranded. That's just how it's going to go down. Now, I don't want anybody to think that, since I'm doing Uber, that I know every area I'm driving in. Now, the poor navigation guidance, because everybody thinks that if you're an Uber driver, you should be familiar with the area. As huge as Texas is, I learn about a new part of Texas every damn day. I'm not going to even lie to you. And Uber will have you like from your home point start, and you may be all the way across the city within the next hour or so. So don't assume that drivers know all the local routes and how to avoid stuff. You be courteous enough to say, hey, look, I know of a better option. If you take this left, we'll get there quicker. That's all you got to say. Because you're familiar with the area. Yeah, so you ain't got to be nasty about it. Just say, hey, better way to get there? This way. And no problem. Now, I know you guys are paying for a ride, but be a little courteous to your driver. And when I'm speaking on that, no tips or low tips. When you go out your way, I know I do, to provide good service, I make sure you're safe, you're sound, I got a good playlist, or I'm listening to a great talk show that you'll enjoy. And you do all that, you make sure the car is clean, and nothing. The main ones that don't tip are the ones you drop off in them gated communities. And when I mean gated communities, I'm talking like massive homes. I guess that's how they got that way. But I think when you give good service, you should be rewarded. Even though if I go out, like the last time I had my toes and fingers done, I made sure I left a tip because she did a good job. People need to feel more appreciation. It ain't just about I'm already paying you a fare. Yes, you are, but the company's taking a major chunk out of that. So be a little courteous. If you got good service, be a little courteous. That's all I'm saying. Now, short rides kind of irritate me. That some days I be in the mood for a short ride, but then again, I don't. I'm talking like a $3, $4 ride. It's not profitable for drivers. And matter of fact, those be the main ones that be having you waiting the full wait time. So that's why I'm a little leery of taking short rides. And then, Uber don't give a damn. As long as they get their percentage, they'll send you 20 minutes out to collect $3. These are facts. And I already wrote them. I said, look, don't be sending me these short rides that is over 2 to 3 minutes away. That's the max I'm doing. It's not especially significant for the pickup efforts. It really isn't. Now, I cannot stand uncooperative safety measures. This is like, okay, Uber got it now that when you're a passenger, you get in the driver's car. Within 5 to 10 seconds, once that ride starts, they say, please buckle your seatbelt. Now, as a driver, I'm wearing my seatbelt at all times. And I would think the passengers would be a little smarter to do that. Now, I'm going to let you know how important this is besides for your safety. But scenario, I did get a speeding ticket. Yeah, I did. My foot is heavy. And I was in this little suburban neighborhood. And I'm trying to hurry up and get this girl out of my car. She wasn't irritating. I'm just trying to get to the next ride. And, of course, got zapped by the popo, pulled me over, and they cited me for speeding, and they cited her for no seatbelt. So, of course, she calls Uber and complains that she got a ticket for me speeding. I'm like, no, look, I got the ticket, but had you been wearing your seatbelt, you wouldn't have gotten anything. Petty. Hell, I got to go to court too. Just petty. So wear your seatbelt. If you're paranoid where, with the COVID-19 still being out there, you want to wear your mask, fine. If a driver requires you to wear a mask in their vehicle, that is their preference. Don't get no attitude with them. He'll probably supply you with one just to make sure we all good. Now, aggressive and, again, intoxicated behavior is a no-no. It really puts the driver at risk because even though you having a good time in the back seat, your behavior is really distracting. Now, I have not experienced that, but I've seen plenty of videos of when Uber drivers pick up these tipsy-ass customers, and they be doing the most. Now, Uber also has a new feature that you're booking rides for others, which is fine. But there needs to be communication so there's no confusion. Like, I'll be picking up somebody named Elizabeth, and a Daniel shows up. I'm like, well, y'all need to communicate that with me because I'm going to look at him crazy when I ask for a name. I'm just going to go crazy. So please make sure you communicate with your driver and the passenger to make sure everybody's on the same page when you are booking a ride for somebody else. Now, that was just the general list of complaints, but I got my own to add on. Because, see, Uber's, I think they being nice by their driver complaints. I'm going to give you the real. Don't have any badass children in my car. Oh, my God, that is the worst. I've had at least 2 to 3 incidents where I wanted to pull over, which I did on one. The last one I had, it was a grandmother and her 2 grandsons. I know the oldest had to be about 7. The other one had to be about maybe 3, 4 years old. That little 4-year-old, it was a short ride, number one, dropping them off at the daycare. But I promise you, it felt like the longest night in hell with that little ass wipe in the back. Yes, I said ass wipe because he was doing the most. He was kicking, screaming, not putting his seatbelt on, and I had to pull over. I'm like, ma'am, if you cannot control him, I'm going to have to let you out. So instead of buckling his ass down, she going to put him on his lap and, hold him with her arms. And he's still acting a fool. So I'm like, okay, what's the highest speed limit can I go on this trip? Are we in a no school zone? Okay, get him there. I am so ready to get them out my car. And that little boy must have known he got under my nerves. Because the grandmother's exiting on one way, the older son is exiting the other way. He gonna sit up in the back of my seat, dead looking at me in the rearview mirror, grinning. I'm like, yo, get your ass out of here. I gave him the mama look eyes. I'm like, I can't curse your little ass out, but I'm gonna give you that look that you won't be able to mistake. Get out. So lack of control of your children in any public space. My sister works with a lot of kids, and I've just seen so much punk ass parenting, so much coddling. Another complaint I got is, I don't know when washing your ass went out of style. When did washing your ass and you get in the space, and I'm going to tell you something, as an Uber driver, when you are in a car space with people, you smell everything. You smell it because it's a small space. Everything hit your nose. I've had passengers in the back seat and their personal hygiene, their body wise, they smell great. But once they start talking, and I don't smell it until they start talking. I'm like, it smells like shit up in here. I'm not going to even lie. I will, and see, the thing is, I'm not going to verbally say anything, but I will roll my windows down and spray while they're in the car. Damn that. I'm not going to suffer because you can't wash your ass, brush your teeth, put on deodorant. I'm not doing it. But I've had some musty ass folks, and I know in some communities it's cultural, but look, in America, you're going to have to wear deodorant. Period. I put too much money in keeping my car clean and smelling nice for you to bring your funky ass up in here and just kill the vibe. Another thing that I've noticed is why people think that you want to hear their conversations. They'll be on speaker phone calls. I'm like, don't you have the headset still work, don't you? Almost everybody got a earpiece to put in. Why is this a whole conversation? Because even if you're not enjoying whatever I'm playing, you have the option to put your headsets in. Because, see, the playlist really ain't for you. It's for me. The podcast ain't for you. It's for me. So I can get through my day with a chipper attitude. So be considerate. Put your headsets on. I don't want to hear no speakerphone conversation. And some of these conversations be going overboard. Let's just say I've given a ride to strippers. Enough said. And then don't be playing your phone loud. If you, like I said again, headsets. You come in the car blasting either your music, your sermon from your church. I even asked a woman, and I'm not going to lie, most African women do this. They be pissing me off. They get in the car with their phone, and they'll be listening to their minister loud. And I asked, I had to ask this one woman, I said, could you turn that down, please? Oh, you have headsets. I'm being polite now. No headsets. And you can't even turn the shit down. I'm listening to some shit too. I don't want to hear that. It was another one, short ride. Like I told you, them short rides be the most drama. And once I dropped off, the heifer didn't even wait for me to make a full stop for her to get out my car. I'm like, bitch, you're not in danger. What you running for? You know you didn't piss me off and I'm just ready to get you out my car. So that loud phone conversation and you listen to a movie, it just, be respectful. Be respectful. Now, again, I say talking crazy. I'm going to give you a prime example when I mean talking crazy. One time, I had picked up this little Arab woman, and she was on her phone yakking. And I like to confirm who getting in my car. I'm like, ma'am, can I get your name, please? And she just yakking. She was the only one out there. So I'm like, okay, this must be her. I'm going to let her ass make it. 2 minutes away, I get a text message, and it's from the lady I'm originally supposed to pick up. I told the lady, I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. You got in the wrong Uber. I'm going to have to turn around and I'm going to take you back to your destination so you can get your Uber ride. Oh, well, he already left. He just texted me. I'm like, so you knew this was the wrong Uber. And the place I'm directed to take you to ain't the place you may have wanted to go. So I make a U-turn. I'm going to be late for work. I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry. I can't do that. And she was trying to get me to take her. And I'm like, ma'am, I can't do that because that is not only against policy, but that means the other person will be paying for this ride, not you. The heifer started screaming, what? And, oh, you talking about a snap in me? I was like, click up. Hold up. Who are you talking to? In my car? Either you can be quiet until I return you to your destination, which is your apartment complex, or you can get your ass out and sit here on the side of the road. Which one you want? Let me help me get your ass out my car. Get out my car. See, that's one thing folks are going to know. I am not going to tolerate you talking crazy to me. I don't care what scenario it is. You are not going to talk crazy to me. It's just the lack of respect people have. And I don't understand why y'all feel so entitled to talk crazy to people in their car. Don't you know you could also put yourself in danger if I wasn't a sane person? Do you not realize that? So I need people to stop with the bullshit. When you order a Uber, a Lyft, whatever ride share service you use, please be on time. Please be respectful. Enjoy the ride. Now, of course, if the driver is obnoxious, you have every right to say what you got to say and rate them. But don't forget, passengers get rated too. Passengers get rated too. And they ask if you wore your seatbelt and everything. So do that. Wear your seatbelts. Use your headsets. Don't be doing the most out here in other people's vehicles. I'm telling you, I'm trying to save your life and make sure your experience with a Uber driver is a pleasant one. And make sure your guys tip, even if it's just $1. Because like I said, the wear and tear on the vehicle alone, what you make from Uber don't necessarily cover all the expenses. Okay, so I just want you guys to keep that in mind, and I want to make sure that you be respectful and considerate to others. That's all. Now, next episode is going to be a special one. I am going to talk about being an autism mom. Yes, I'm going to take you through the journey of my son and I want to have him on the show as well to get his feedback on some certain things since he is a young man now. So make sure you guys tune in, subscribe, and share the podcast. Make sure you leave a review. I would love for you guys to leave me a review on what you think about the show because I love hearing the feedback. Also, check out Mama's Kitchen Cookbook on Amazon. You guys already know it is my first cookbook. Hopefully my next one will be dropping before summer is out or early fall. But Mama's Kitchen Cookbook is available right now on Amazon. Nice book. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Follow me on social media. It is Talk to Me Michelle on Instagram. And join me for the next episode as we cover the world of being an autism mom. Peace out.
Talk to me, talk to me. Laughs and insights, wait and see.